Soul poison. Poison of the soul. Seven years ago, set out on a mission to find out what causes failure in the human psyche. I mean, if you could really narrow it down to just several things, there's infinite ways to fail. Let's face that fact. But it's came full circle, and it has become undeniable. Even though there's a lot of things that contribute to failure, types of trauma, types of emotional disorders, depression, post-traumatic stress disorders, emotional immaturities, you name it, all of that stuff. Those contributed to it. But I think, or no, I don't think, I know at this point, the main staple, if a person corrects all those other things, assuming they can be corrected, and heals all those other things, no matter what they're doing or how they're doing it, if there are pockets of unforgiveness and unreconciliations that could have been reconciled, but they weren't because of pride or ego or vengeance or whatever, then those little those little things dinging around in the back of the mind. My God. Anyways, let's run through the immediate damages of unforgiveness. And here's 6 immediate damaging, soul decaying. Number 1, acute inner turmoil, rage, resentment, and anxiety surge, polluting peace and clarity, leading to emotional instability and irrational decisions. Already off the get-go. Number 2, relationship breakdown, trust is shattered. Bonds that could have been healed become ruptures that may never mend again. Number 3, loss of moral authority. The person forfeits credibility, appearing hypocritical, bitter, or immature, even if they were once justified. Number 4, isolation and alienation. Friends and allies back away, not from disagreement, but discomfort. People subconsciously recoil from bitterness. We all do. 5, self-sabotage of joy. A person, it's so easy to think self-sabotage of joy. It's like, who would self-sabotage their joy or happiness or anything like that? That's ridiculous. Who would do that? Yeah, it happens unconsciously. They unconsciously block themselves from love, peace, laughter, and the sweetness of life because they're guarding old wounds instead of releasing them. Damn. 6, emotional regression. They spiritually and psychologically shrink, operating from wounded child logic rather than healed adult wisdom. The crazy thing is all 6 of those things are all happening at the same time. So damaging. So damaging. It's like just right there. We could go into some other stuff, but let's go ahead and walk a little further into it. Let's look at these other effects. Long-term damages. These are long-term, after months, years, decades. Number 7, chronic bitterness syndrome. You ever heard of chronic bitterness syndrome? Unhealed anger hardens into identity. Damn. They become the person who was wronged, not someone who overcame. Straight up victim mentality. It's like, damn it. Damn it. Number 8, neurological wiring towards negativity. The brain reshapes itself to expect betrayal, to expect offense, and to expect failure, fueling lifelong pessimism and distrust. No wonder. Number 9. Here's a real kicker for you. Generational contagion. Children, partners, or close ones inherit the emotional poison through modeled behavior and unspoken trauma. Oh my God. Yeah, that right there is just, it's just consistently devastating for something like that. And the thing is like it's not, it's more of a way a person is living, not so much their words and actions. Okay, 10, spiritual paralysis. Forgiveness is the soul's alchemy. I absolutely believe that 100% at this point. Out of everything I've researched, studied, looking for what might possibly be the main staples, like if there was a master key, like say if you had a bunch of different kind of emotional disorders or sicknesses or freaking traumas or whatever, it's like what are the master keys that would unlock those and make all of those way easier to deal with? Where's the keystone? And I think it is forgiveness. Forgiveness is the soul's alchemy. Without it, spiritual growth stagnates, regardless of rituals or beliefs. Dang. Regardless of rituals or beliefs. Is that a trip or what? It's like you can go through 1,000 different rituals. You can take on all kinds of beliefs, and those things may be good to a certain degree, and they may help filter lesser things. But when it comes to the forgiveness thing, see, forgiveness and reconciliation, self-reconciliation is not an option. There must be self-forgiveness and self-reconciliation. See, we can forgive other people or whatever and not reconcile with them, not let them back into our lives or whatever. That could be entirely up to us, unless it's reconcilable. All right, number 11, purpose deviation. Time and energy that could have been channeled into love, legacy, or meaning are wasted fighting invisible wars. Damn. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, decades go by. Next thing you know, bam, bam, bam. Shit. Number 12, regret at the threshold of death. When a person winds up old and on their deathbed and they know they've only got weeks or months or days to live or something like that, assuming, this is a strong possibility. Most of us will die like that, either from some kind of illness that we know our death is coming up, or old age where we know our days are ticking. Most people don't die instantaneous death, although that is an element, but we're looking at the other two elements. Perhaps the most tragic, realizing when it's far too late that reconciliation was possible and peace was possible, but it was refused out of pride, fear, or ego. So it can be refused out of those three things. Scared that the reconciliation's not going to work, scared that the forgiveness isn't going to work, just pride and ego stuck in like victim mentality, not taking on information about what may have caused the betrayal or whatever, how we magnetized that to ourselves or brought it on ourselves, and sometimes not even. And that's probably the most difficult ones, the hurdles to get over in life, is if we're wronged unjustly. And of course, pride. Pride just cannot swallow the pill that a wrongdoing happened. It's like keeping it up in the air as a fight forever to avoid accepting the fact that the betrayal happened. It's craziness. It's craziness. It's straight up insanity. Unforgiveness is straight up insanity. Because without forgiveness, it's like our minds, the way the human psyche is made, we have to assign meaning and context to things that allow us to move forward. And unforgiveness does not allow us to move forward. It's just straight up toxic. And by doing so, it's like when we do that, if we're stuck in unforgiveness, then there's a very, very, very high probability that we are not forgiving ourselves and that we are not reconciling ourselves to ourselves. Because we got to bring ourselves back into good standing with ourselves. We have to reconcile ourselves. It doesn't matter if it was something that happened to us unjustly or something we brought on ourselves, or it was something just straight up unjustly to where we were truly innocent. If it was one of those three things, we still have got to find a way to truly figure out what parts do we need to forgive ourselves according to the way our heart and mind is shaped currently at that time, and then reconcile ourselves to ourselves. Because if we don't reconcile ourselves to ourselves, then we just got like all these apps running in the background. It's like our mind becomes like a computer that's got all these apps running in the background, lagging the system down. All those things running like that. Eventually, we just start giving up on this and giving up on that, and our world just goes smaller and smaller, and there it goes. It's gone. Anyways, had to share this. It just hit me, this question I made this paper with a little bit ago. I was doing another project, and it's like I kind of come to a little bump in the road about forgiveness and self-reconciliation. And then the question came up, and I thought, what if forgiveness is doable and it's relatively easily to achieve a full-bodied forgiveness that can easily transcend into a reconciliation, but a person chooses not to? Then what? Then what are the short-term damages and the long-term damages? And this is the paper that came about. So there you have it. Yep. It's craziness. It's unbelievable. You know, I look at things like this and I think, how do any of us ever find any real joy and any real happiness and stuff like that when it's like some kind of small unforgiveness or something that gets swept under the carpet can be overlooked and then just go day by day, and it's like there's always something in the back of our minds that has like a little check engine light coming on. It's like check engine, and then finally it goes long enough, and then our brain, and if we don't address it, it goes after several weeks, months. It's like the check engine light goes off, and we think, oh, good, there, fixed. No, not fixed. It's almost like our brain has this emergency light that comes on. This emergency light comes on every single day, no matter what we're doing throughout our day. If we're honest with ourselves and look at how our mind and how our heart operates when we take on an unforgiveness and something needs to be fixed, something needs to be set straight. It's like we got that little red light going off every freaking day. As soon as we wake up, all through our day, that little red light in the back of our head is saying, problem, fix it, set it straight. And we keep sweeping it under the carpet, sweeping it under the carpet. It's like that check engine light in our heart and mind. It's almost like it tells itself, it's like, okay, you're obviously too busy, you're obviously going to get to it later. I'm just going to shut this light off. And it shuts that light off and it goes numb in that area. Then the next thing you know, you can't feel in that area. And we become more uncompassionate, unempathetic. Get too many of those things happening. Next thing you know, it's like we're just, we're non-sentient. The next thing you know, we become unaware, not self-aware. And we're like a machine. We're like an artificial intelligence at that point. It's like we're not even feeling. And then, of course, like that, we turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms to cover up those numb spots or hollow spots, whatever you want to call them, those dead spots, those non-functioning spots in our lives. Immediate damages, long-term damages. It's definitely something to consider. Definitely something to consider. Doesn't matter whether a person considers themselves as grown up in a very healthy, happy, functioning household with both loving parents and great morals and never had any emotional disorders or anything like that, or, you know, there's still going to be things happening in life. It doesn't matter. Even a person like that can still take on, to me, unforgiveness is trauma. It's straight up trauma. Betrayal is straight up trauma. It needs to be treated as such. Instead of being treated as something that you just hurry up and get over and get on with your life. No. I mean, would we rush each other around if, say, we like broke our arm or broke our leg, and it'd be like, hurry up and get out of that cast. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Matter of fact, let's just take the damn thing off. You're healed already. Go, go, go. Get back to work. No. No, we don't do that to each other. But yeah, we do that to each other when it comes to these unforgiveness things. We really do. It's just a human fallacy that we got going on. Anyways, this is kind of a spur of the moment video. I was actually kind of getting tangled up in my own emotions, not really being able to process them out very good. I was doing my writing and doing some, the project I'm doing for this quarter of 2025, and I got jammed up. And I was just kind of reminiscing and looking at the damages of, grudges and resentments throughout the years through myself and people I've known and family members and stuff like that. And yeah, it just kind of jammed me up. So I had to step aside, make this video, share some of these insights, these key insights. But anyways, life is not all gloom and doom. I don't think we should treat it as such, but yet stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. See you in the funny papers.